Hi there and welcome back, guys, to our Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, Path of the Damned difficulty, the Renegades of Puck. We are just here in Dyrford village. We have talked to Beardmar in the Temple of Bera. Then he has told us about the ruins of Silon Rilag, which are somewhere out here. And a suspicious group, probably of the Leaden Key, has gone there to do mischief, probably. Let's look at the map where these ruins are. They're here. But I think they are too strong for us yet, because this is part of the damned, you know, and I think we're better off doing the quests in this village first.
Not a sound.
So we'll try to do that. Let's talk to these guys here. Medreth. Let's just hope they don't attack us. Medreth, an elf idles by the road, watching the village across the river. He nods as you approach, and the cowled figures standing near him fall silent.
How do you do?
Defiance Bay, +1. Oh. Greetings, friend. So he's from Defiance Bay. A slow smile forms as he eyes you. I've heard of you. Word has it you've been busy in Defiance Bay. He draws closer. I'm busy too, and eager to finish my business and get back to the city. What business would that be? Haven't you heard? There's a murderer on the loose. Said to have gone mad with grief and strangled 12 healthy children, and her own was hollowborn. He nods at the figures with him. We've come all the way from Defiance Bay to bring her to justice. She's here? He nods across the river. She's hiding out in the village. We'd go in after her ourselves, but the problem is she knows our faces. There's no telling what she'd do if she saw us coming, and we'd like to avoid any further unnecessary bloodshed. He leans closer. Her name's Nifra. She's an Orlan. We want to get her out of town so that we can deal with her cleanly. She knows we're looking for her, but if someone were to convince her that it is safe to leave... If she's a mass murderer, why didn't the Duke send the Crucible Knights after her? Deception 16, a look of distaste flickers across his face. It's quick, but you catch it. The powers that be want to keep things quiet, for obvious reasons. Better not to cause a fuss, and certainly better not to startle her into doing something drastic. Well, he wants us to do that, so we're just going to say we're going to do that, but we're not actually doing that without further looking at the woman. I could draw her out. He nods. She won't know you. It will be simple. I have questions for you. What did Nifra do exactly? She was responsible for the murder of all of those babies in Defiance Bay. Remember? Terrible thing. But we'll make her pay all right.
Welcome!
Well, any luck with Nifra? Remind me who I'm looking for. An Orlan woman named Nifra. I don't know exactly where in the village she is, but there aren't too many Orlans around there. Alright, I should get back to the search then. Cat and mouse. I think we should explore this area first. Maybe we'll find some herbs, or this Nifra, or something else entirely. Because there's so much hidden here. I think you can find something almost everywhere. Aha! Yeah, there's some lost zones here at least. At least that, and there is something. Ah, we found it. What is it? Golden celery. Sounds tasty. And some more grass. Reed grass. I don't know. River reed. Sweet. Ah, look at that. Nice water reflections there. So, nothing new here. Ah, but some more river reed as well. That's a good point. Maybe go over there too? No? Alright. This is not the Let's Play Collect Rivalry.
Nice and slow.
How's Herend Guard? A bird traveler. I only require a moment.
Welcome.
Interesting. The guard gives you an appraising eye. You've recently come to Dyrford, I take it? I don't suppose you saw a young elven noblewoman on the road? I'm stuck in this wretched place with the rest of my unit until we find her. Who is she? Lady Alice. He bites his lip. She's the daughter of Lord Nestor Herend, and she's gone missing. Oh, nobles. But still a young woman that's gone missing. We should help. If she's not missing by her own will, that is. Perhaps you could go speak with Lord Herend at the inn. He'll be grateful for the assistance, and it could be the villagers will open up to you more than they have to us. Yeah, and this it is. We're going to a new area, and it's raining quests. That's good.
I see something.
Oh, something hidden here. A ripple sponge and a rope and grappling hook. Whoa. More drugs. A rope and grappling hook is always welcome.
Not a sound.
Yeah, we're just exploring everything. Never know what you might find, right? I need everything at Path of the Damned. Oh, there's a piglet. And there is a man called Rumbald. Damn Gallowayne for monsters like that, and damn the rest of the gods too. What is your problem? Man paces angrily in front of a wrecked animal pen, his sun-weathered face twisted with ire. He's so wrapped up in his fury that he doesn't seem to notice you. Gallowayne's slobbering beasts, blazing bloody effigy, thrice damned salty wench and her soggy... yeah... What's wrong? That monster stole my pigs, traipsed into the village, tore down my pen, and made off with the whole damned herd. Just left a few little runs, and what I am supposed to do with them. What are you talking about? An ogre moved into the area not long ago. Folk had been seeing glimpses and tracks out in the wood, but it seemed to be staying away from town, or so we all thought, until it made off with my pigs. Now everyone's afraid it's going to develop a taste for kith, if it hasn't already. Huh. What do you mean to do now? I know it's too late to get my pigs back, but it set my mind at ease to see that things had shorn from its neck. In fact, you bring its ugly pate to me, and I'll trade you for something that's of less use to a farmer like me than to a rowdy-looking sort like yourself. That sounds good. So he wants me to kill an ogre. What do you know about the ogre? But there are nice ogres, so let's see what kind of ogre it is before we kill him. The same as any other, I'm sure. A big ugly son of a bitch with a nasty temper and an appetite to match. Triggle could tell you more. He claims to have seen it in the wood. You can find him in his shop, right by the broken tower. And I've been sent to find an Orlan named Nifre. Know where she is? Never even heard of her.
They'll never know I'm here.
And do you hide something, farmer? Maybe the piglets have something hidden here. Maybe this piglet is a hidden piglet. A villager. But I think we should go to that tavern thing first. And oh, we weren't in here, were we? Seems to be the mill. Let's go into there. Now, what's that about? Two villagers.
I see something.
A running mill. Something hidden. Two peridots. Wow. This would be stealing, but that was not. Alright, very good. We can look into it. Grain. Probably even more grain. Yeah, flour. More grain. The mill slowly grinds away at a trough of grain.
What
Like
is
these
it?
little animations. Nothing interesting in here? That is suspicious. Everything is suspicious. If you're in an RPG and something is right, then everything is not right, probably. The Drakogan Inn. That sounds dangerous. There's a barrel. We could steal. No, we won't steal. There's the house Herald guard. Or one of the guards. Talking to the villagers. Let's go into the tavern. Speak to this lord. Villagers here.
They'll never know I'm here.
I
This
just
table has
want
been
to
scarred
find
and
her.
stained from...
Surely even you can understand that.
We're decent folk, my lord. Perhaps you should leave and check the wilds.
And there are they. There are some other guys here. Sid and Eon. Eon! Our old friend Eon. We helped him to escape, remember? Gave him some coppers so he could flee Defiance Bay. Let's talk to Sid.
Good day,
first.
stranger.
A redhead stands by the fire, tuning her lute and plucking its strings. She hums snatches of a melody as she goes. First time at the Draco again. Normally I'd have a song ready, but I haven't quite worked out this tune yet. I'm writing some chants about the founding of this inn. Say, you're interested in the story. I haven't finished the chants, but I could tell you about it all the same. Yeah, well, sure, let's have it. It was built in the time of Hadred's rebellion, and a Dyrford lady, Thainu, once had a keep there. One of the towers still stands, but the rest is said to be buried under the village. Oh, so there's dungeons down here. Anyway, she stuck to the side of the Empire, and a contingent of Duke Hadred's Knights of the Crucible helped the farmers and colonists in the area turn her keep to rubble. This inn was the first building that sprang up from the ruin. Built with some of the same bricks the colonists had pulled from the Lady Thainu's castle, they say. Supposedly, the quarterstaff of her chief wizard even got lost in the construction, mortared into a wall or nailed under a floorboard. Oh, something we got to find here. Anyway, the inn was supposed to be a haven and a meeting place while the locals built their new town. Yeah, let's talk about the quarterstaff. So, what do you mean by supposed to be? The Woodens are an ornery lot, and the more these new neighbors met, the more they argued. They realized they didn't agree on much beside ousting the new lord. The biggest divide was over the Glenfathans and their nearby ruins. Hadred's knights and their supporters wanted to keep the peace, but a group of misfits with more anarchic leanings that had formed in town wanted to go after the tribes the same way they'd gone after their lord. Soon the villagers were fighting with each other as much as with the Edirans. In the end, memories of the Broken Stone War and the War of Black Trees were fresh enough that the Duke's soldiers won the day. Most of the other villagers came around eventually, but some of the core troublemakers left to join the front lines of the War of Defiance, and others, I've heard, found their way into the Guided Compass, the most forward-looking of the Glenfathan tribes. I don't know if I believe that part myself, but it makes a good story. She points to the east wall. There's a portrait of one of the chief rebel rousers and his rival in the peacekeeping faction. Someone's idea of a joke. I don't think they were particularly amused. I want to hear about the Broken Stone War. That was the first major conflict between the original Ediran settlers and the Glenfathans. It happened 3 years into colonization when some farmers knocked over an Adraman here. It was part of an Angwithan ruin. The war didn't last long, but it spread quickly and claimed thousands. In the early weeks, most of the colonists didn't even realize there was a war going on until the Glenfathan raiders hit their villages. And this must be from the ghosts we saw at Cardnua. There had been small, spontaneous skirmishes between the colonists and the locals before then, but this was organized, and it was the start of decades of violence between the colonists and the Glenfathans. As you can see, Dyrford's full of history, even in little villages like this. Tell me about the War of Black Trees. It started back in the colonial days, almost 30 years after the Broken Stone War. Even though isolated conflicts still broke out between the settlers and the Glenfathans, both sides had officially agreed to peace. Edrang Hadred, Admeth's father, was Grave at the time. Grave, some kind of noble probably. As part of peace negotiations, he'd signed treaties prohibiting Adirian colonists from looting in Gwithon ruins. However, he'd been unable to outlaw the use of captured Glenfathans as slaves. What's a Greve? A Greve is the governor of a colony and is subservient to the Adirian emperor. The early leaders of the Adir colony in the Dyrwood, including Edrang and Admeth Hadred, were Graves. At the start of the War of Defiance, Admeth Hadred declared himself Duke of an independent Dyrwood rather than Greve of the Emperor's colony. It was the same term used for leaders of the newly independent Valian republics. Anyway, we haven't had a Greve since. I see. Indeed, the taking of Glenfathan slaves had continued to be a source of conflict. It came to a head when imperial agents, aided by certain earls in the Dyrwood, began looting the ruins again. See, the Empire had never actually agreed to Hadred's treaties on the matter, and the recent secession of the Valian republics likely left them eager to weaken Hadred's position. The looting sparked a brutal slave uprising and a guerrilla campaign among the Glenfathans. Edrang Hadred was too old to lead forces into battle, and so he sent his son, Admeth. Admeth made a costly but effective decision that ended the war faster than anyone could have imagined. He burned the forest near the Ian River to keep the Glenfathan war bands from retreating. Thousands of Glenfathans died, and as Admeth repeated his scorched earth tactics in the following months, he wore down the remainder of their forces. To this day, over 150 years later, there are still sections of the Dyrwood where the trees are nothing but bare, charred trunks. Woo, what a story. What a story indeed. And next time we'll start with something happier, probably to tell from Eon, as my time's up now. So thank you for watching. Have a good time. Happy gaming to you. This is Immanuel Can signing out. See you in the next episode.